Atlantis is one of the greatest mysteries in human history, a story that blends legend, philosophy, archaeology, mythology, science, and imagination. For thousands of years, people around the world have wondered whether Atlantis was a real civilization lost to time, a symbolic warning about human pride, or a story meant to preserve ancient memories of disasters that shaped early humanity. The legend of Atlantis originated with the Greek philosopher Plato around 360 BC. He wrote about Atlantis in two works called the Timaeus and the Critias, describing it as a magnificent island empire that existed 9,000 years before his time. According to Plato, Atlantis was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar, placing it somewhere in or beyond the Atlantic Ocean. He described it as a vast land larger than Libya and Asia Minor combined, blessed with rich soil, abundant resources, advanced architecture, and a powerful navy. Plato's account tells the story of Poseidon, the god of the sea, who fell in love with a mortal woman named Cleito. To protect her, he built an extraordinary capital city consisting of concentric rings of land and water. Grand bridges, canals, and passages connected each ring, and a massive central temple stood at the heart of the city. The Atlanteans mined gold, silver, and a mysterious metal called orichalcum. Their buildings were covered with decorative stones, metals, and carvings. Their engineering achievements seemed far ahead of their time, making the city appear more advanced than any other ancient culture we know. According to Plato, the early Atlanteans lived with wisdom, strong values, and a deep respect for the gods. Their society was organized into 10 ruling families, all descended from Poseidon's sons. Their navy and armies were unmatched, and their influence stretched across the Mediterranean and beyond. They were skilled builders, sailors, farmers, and metalworkers. Their wealth allowed them to create a flourishing culture with beautiful temples, palaces, harbors, and public works. Atlantis was described as a Golden Age civilization, a symbol of what humanity could achieve at its best. But eventually, according to Plato, the Atlanteans became greedy, corrupt, and hungry for power. They began expanding their empire aggressively, seeking to dominate other nations. Their moral decline angered the gods, who decided to punish them. In a single day and night of disaster, earthquakes and floods shook the island violently. The entire civilization sank beneath the sea and disappeared forever. This dramatic ending transformed Atlantis into one of the most enduring lost world legends in human history. For more than 2,000 years, scholars have debated whether Plato's story was literal, symbolic, or inspired by real events. Some believe Atlantis was a real society destroyed by a natural disaster, while others see it as a philosophical lesson about the dangers of arrogance. Many cultures around the world preserve flood myths and stories of vanished lands, including the Mesopotamian flood narrative, the biblical story of Noah, the Hindu tale of Manu, and the flood legends of Native American tribes. These stories suggest that early humanity experienced devastating disasters near the end of the Ice Age, when melting glaciers caused sea levels to rise dramatically. Entire coastlines were submerged, and countless settlements disappeared underwater. This period may have inspired the memory of Atlantis. One of the most widely discussed real-world parallels to Atlantis is the Minoan civilization of Crete and the volcanic island of Thera, now known as Santorini. Around 1600 BC, a massive eruption tore the island apart, triggering earthquakes, ash clouds, and tsunamis that devastated the Minoan world. Some historians believe this catastrophic event may have inspired Plato's description of Atlantis's destruction. The Minoans were advanced in art, architecture, maritime trade, and written language. Their sudden decline is one of ancient history's great mysteries. But while the Minoan theory explains some aspects of the Atlantis legend, it does not fully match Plato's account of a massive island empire in the Atlantic. Other researchers have proposed that Atlantis may lie somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean itself. The Azores Islands, sitting atop an underwater volcanic ridge, have long been considered candidates. Some explorers believe the islands are the mountaintops of a once larger landmass that may have sunk due to geological activity. During the 19th century, the legend of Atlantis captured worldwide attention thanks to the American writer Ignatius Donnelly. His 1882 book, Atlantis, The Antediluvian World, proposed that Atlantis was the original cradle of civilization. He argued that Egypt, Greece, the Americas, and other cultures descended from Atlantean refugees. Although many of his ideas lacked scientific support, his book reshaped global interest and inspired generations of explorers, archaeologists, and treasure hunters. Throughout the 20th century, newspapers and magazines published numerous claims that Atlantis had finally been discovered. In 1912, American papers reported unusual underwater formations off the coast of Morocco. In the 1930s, divers in the Bahamas and near Cuba described seeing submerged walls or stone pavements. These reports sparked excitement even when evidence was limited or unconfirmed. The most famous modern claim came in 1968, when the Bimini Road was discovered in the Bahamas. This long formation of large rectangular stones lies underwater and resembles an ancient artificial structure. Some believe it may be remnants of a harbor, breakwater, or temple. Others insist it is a natural limestone formation shaped by erosion. The debate over Bimini continues to this day. In the early 2000s, new underwater sonar scans revealed geometric patterns deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean. News headlines around the world suggested these shapes might be ruins of Atlantis. Later analysis concluded that the shapes were natural features, but the story renewed global fascination with the legend. In 2009, satellite images from Google Earth showed grid-like lines on the ocean floor near the Canary Islands. Social media erupted with claims that Atlantis had finally been located. Google later explained that the lines were digital mapping artifacts left by survey ships, not lost city streets. Still, the event proved how quickly the world becomes excited by the possibility of rediscovering Atlantis. Another major theory focuses on the Sahara Desert. Satellite photos reveal the Risha structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara. This massive circular geological formation in Mauritania resembles the concentric rings Plato described. Although scientists believe it formed naturally over millions of years, its striking shape and size have made it one of the most popular modern Atlantis candidates. Thousands of years ago, the Sahara was green, fertile, and full of rivers, lakes, and animals. A civilization in that area could have been wiped out by sudden climate change, leaving behind no trace except legends. Other proposed locations include Spain near Cadiz, where ancient ruins lie beneath marshes and coastal sands. Some researchers believe these belong to a culture destroyed by tsunamis or earthquakes. Off the coast of India, divers have found submerged structures that may be thousands of years old. Near the Japanese island of Yonaguni, divers discovered underwater formations that look like steps, platforms, and terraces. These could be natural formations, but some believe they represent ancient architecture. Even Antarctica has been suggested as a possible location, based on theories that the continent may have been ice-free in distant prehistory, although this idea remains highly speculative. Modern technology is now providing new ways to search for lost civilizations. Deep-sea exploration robots can travel to depths unreachable by divers. High-resolution satellites can identify buried structures beneath deserts, jungles, and coastlines. Ground-penetrating radar can detect ancient foundations under layers of sand and soil. These technologies have revealed lost cities in Cambodia, Mexico, Colombia, and the Middle East, proving that entire civilizations can vanish and remain undiscovered for thousands of years. This fuels the belief that Atlantis, or a civilization like it, may still be waiting to be found. Whether Atlantis was real or symbolic, its legend continues to influence culture today. It has inspired books, movies, video games, documentaries, and scientific research. It challenges us to consider how much human history may have been lost to natural disasters, rising seas, and shifting landscapes. Some researchers believe Atlantis represents a memory of early civilizations destroyed during periods of intense climate change. Others see it as a philosophical metaphor for the rise and fall of nations. Still others believe that Atlantis was an advanced prehistoric society whose knowledge was lost after a global catastrophe. The legend endures because it speaks to a deep human curiosity about our origins. It invites us to imagine what ancient people may have achieved long before recorded history. It reminds us that our planet has changed dramatically over time, and that entire worlds may have existed where oceans now lie. In the end, the story of Atlantis remains one of humanity's greatest unsolved mysteries. Whether it was a real place, a symbolic tale, or a blend of ancient memory and myth, it continues to inspire exploration and wonder. The search for Atlantis encourages us to look deeper into the oceans, deserts, and forgotten landscapes of our world. It reminds us that history is not a fixed story, but an evolving puzzle with missing pieces still waiting to be discovered. Until definitive proof is found, Atlantis remains both a warning and a promise, a symbol of lost knowledge, human achievement, and the enduring mysteries of our past. In a quiet corner of the world, tales of Atlantis echo through ancient texts. Philosophers and historians alike ponder the implications of Plato's writings, seeking clues hidden in his words. One day, a group of curious scholars gathers around a flickering candle, their faces illuminated by both the light and excitement of the mystery. Could Atlantis truly have existed? One asks, leaning closer, eager to hear the opinions of his peers. Their discussions weave together various theories, mingling dreams of lost civilizations with echoes of history long past. Each question sparks deeper contemplation about human nature, ambition, and the consequences of hubris. As the candlelight dances on the scholars' faces, another voice interjects, "If we look at the rise and fall of civilizations throughout history, could Atlantis simply be a reflection of our own society?" The group falls silent for a moment, contemplating the weight of this assertion. One scholar, with furrowed brows, begins to share stories of empires that flourished only to be swallowed by their own greed. Babylon, the Roman Empire, each exemplified the same trajectory described in Plato's narrative, he observes, fingers tapping rhythmically on the wooden table, emphasizing his point. The atmosphere hums with intense reflection as the scholars realize that the discussion is not just about a lost city, but also a mirror of human behavior through the ages. The eldest scholar, with a voice both reverent and weary, takes a deep breath and recounts the stories of lost cultures whose legacies echo in our world today. "Look to the Minoans of Crete," he begins, whose brilliance in art and architecture was abruptly stifled by volcanic wrath. His eyes gleam with passion as he shares how their fate parallels the cautionary tale of Atlantis, weaving historical accounts with the threads of Plato's words. Each lost civilization serves as a reminder of what can happen when human ambition overshadows respect for nature and the divine. As the candle flickers, the flickering shadows seem to dance in agreement, embodying the pulse of history pulsing through their discourse. The scholars ponder the implications of such revelations, aware that their exploration of Atlantis transcends mere inquiry. It becomes a deeper quest, one that seeks to reconcile human achievements with the frailty of existence, testing the boundaries of knowledge in the face of time's relentless march. "Indeed," another scholar muses, tapping his chin thoughtfully. "We must remember that even greatness can be ephemeral, submerged beneath the weight of our own excesses." He turns and gestures towards the ancient scrolls spread across the table, each filled with tales of glory and downfall. Is not every society, no matter how grand, subject to the same cycle of ambition and consequence? The atmosphere thickens with contemplation as another scholar adds, "What if Atlantis serves as a warning to our world today?" As our technologies advance and our desires expand, we must tread carefully. Murmurs of agreement ripple through the group. The realization dawns that they are not merely discussing the past. Rather, they are grappling with their own truth, the precarious balance between innovation and sustainability. Each scholar reflects on their own life's work, stories of civilizations echoing the fate of Atlantis merging with their personal ambitions. The flickering candlelight casts a warm glow as they ponder not only the mysteries lost to time, but also the visions yet to be crafted. In this moment of heated discussion, one of the younger scholars, filled with youthful fervor, interrupts with an idea that strikes a chord within the group. What if the very concept of Atlantis isn't confined to a singular place, but represents a multitude of civilizations across the world? His eyes gleam with enthusiasm as he suggests that the essence of Atlantis could be found in various ancient cultures that have risen and fallen over time. Look at the stories from Mesopotamia or the legends of the Americas. Each has its own Atlantis, a vision of a civilization that once thrived only to be lost. The other scholars nod in agreement, captivated by the notion that perhaps Atlantis isn't merely one story, but an archetype of human endeavor, echoed throughout history. Could it be that Atlantis is merely a reflection of our hopes and fears? He continues, his voice gaining momentum as he gestures animatedly. It symbolizes our quest for greatness and the perils we face when we reach too far. A thoughtful silence envelops the room as they each ponder this revolutionary idea, contemplating the interconnectedness of human narratives across cultures and epochs. With this perspective, the discussions deepen, and the flickering candlelight seems to burn brighter, illuminating the uncharted territory of thought they are entering, and igniting their collective imagination towards understanding humanity's past, present, and future. Consider the cultures of the Americas, another scholar interjects, his voice rich with curiosity. The legends of the Maya and the Inca speak of advanced societies that also faced collapse. They too mirror the themes we find in Plato's writings. The group leans in, captivated by the thought of universal truths echoing across the ages. A silence falls over them, filled with a deeper understanding that transcends geographical boundaries. It raises the question, he continues, of whether we are, in fact, repeating the cycle. As he speaks, the candle flickers once more, casting intriguing shadows that flicker against the walls, reinforcing the notion that the past is not as distant as it seems. Let us not forget, the eldest scholar points out, that our environment impacts our fate. An awareness of nature's power is vital to our survival. His weary gaze shifts to the group, compelling them to acknowledge the inextricable link between humanity and the natural world. The evening deepens, tension giving way to an understanding that the discussion is as much about the future as it is about the past. As the scholars immerse themselves in these thoughts, the youngest among them leans forward, excited to connect more dots. Perhaps, she suggests, the tales of Atlantis serve a larger function. They provoke us to ask questions about our own existence. What if the essence of Atlantis lies not in its physical location, but in what it compels us to examine? A flicker of inspiration washes over the group, resonating with the idea that the story is a cautionary tale, urging them to reflect on their own realities and the broader narrative of humanity. The room grows silent as they absorb the weight of her words, aware that their pursuit of knowledge must continuously grapple with responsibilities rather than merely aspirations. The scholars, now completely engrossed, begin to consider the questions raised by their younger companion. Yes, one adds, perhaps the story of Atlantis serves as a historical guide, a warning for future generations to heed. It beckons us to reflect on our own choices and the legacy we create. The flickering candlelight casts long shadows across the table, each shadow a reminder of what has been lost and what might still be preserved. It is essential to acknowledge, another scholar interjects, that history is not a straight path. It twists and turns, much like the very narratives we discuss. The group nods, understanding that their examination of Atlantis has unveiled broader truths about resilience and human folly, highlighting the delicate balance between ambition and humility in our journey forward. As the candle burns lower, the atmosphere shifts from one of mere speculation to that of solemn responsibility, urging them to continue the search, not just for Atlantis, but for wisdom in the collective experiences of humanity. Yet how do we ensure that such wisdom does not fade into obscurity? Another scholar poses, his voice a mix of urgency and introspection. We must actively cultivate an awareness of our past to inform our future. A ripple of agreement courses through the group, their eyes keenly focused on the implications of this sentiment. Every civilization, including our own, is built on the knowledge of those who came before us. And it is our task to preserve that legacy, he adds, a fire igniting in his words. The scholars lean closer together, each mindful of the weight their collective insights carry, and the responsibility they share in unraveling the narrative of humanity's journey. In the midst of their intense deliberation, the eldest scholar lifts his gaze, glancing out a nearby window at the stars twinkling like distant whispers from the past. It is in the depths of our history that we find meaning, he says, his voice soft yet resolute. Each lesson etched into time serves as a beacon guiding us forward. Atlantis may be lost, but what it represents, our human capacity for greatness intertwined with fragility, is a truth we cannot ignore. The group absorbs his words, feeling a profound connection to the shared responsibility of preserving knowledge for future generations. With newfound determination, they agree to document their discussions, ensuring that their reflections on Atlantis and its implications will not fade into obscurity. This moment of clarity inspires each scholar to seek deeper revelations, understanding that their quest for answers extends far beyond the mere search for a mythical city. They are engaged in the pursuit of understanding the essence of humanity itself. As the candle flickers one last time, its light reflects the hope that, like Atlantis, the stories and lessons of the past can resurface, guiding the world towards a future that honors the legacy of those who came before. The evening wears on as the scholars continue to grapple with the implications of their conversation. The air is thick with contemplation, and the topics drift seamlessly from the mysteries of Atlantis to the cycles of life's journey. One scholar leans back, fingers interlaced behind his head, lost in thought. What if each of these civilizations left breadcrumbs behind, he posits, his eyes narrowing with intrigue. Could our modern exploration technologies unearth these lost narratives, shining light on not just Atlantis but countless forgotten stories? His question lingers, prompting others to envision the potential for discovery beyond what they have acknowledged. The room buzzes with renewed energy, as excitement for the possibilities of the future intertwines with the lessons of the past, forging a deeper commitment to the perpetual quest for the truth hidden beneath the sands and seas of human history. In the midst of this fervent discussion, the youngest scholar then suggests with enthusiasm, what if we apply the lessons of Atlantis to our own society's challenges? Each civilization's rise and fall can guide our decisions today. Her passionate plea reverberates through the group, igniting a spark of inspiration. We stand at a crossroads, where our technological advancements can either uplift or undermine us, she continues, her eyes shining brightly with conviction. The scholars nod, contemplating the weight of her words, aware that Atlantis serves not only as a distant memory, but also as a powerful warning. As their discussion deepens, one of the older scholars expresses a sense of urgency. We must take these lessons to heart, he asserts, leaning forward, his fingers tracing the edges of a scroll. The fate of Atlantis teaches us that unchecked ambition can lead to ruin. If we abandon our connection to the natural world, we risk facing similar consequences. The group ponders this notion, feeling the palpable tension of responsibility in their midst. With the candle flickering faintly, they recognize the importance of their dialogues, each word shaping the understanding of their place in history and humanity's future. Let us chart a course, one scholar suggests, to investigate not only Atlantis's potential truths, but also how we can apply its lessons today. We owe it to those who came before us. An air of determination fills the room as they nod in agreement, setting the stage for a journey that transcends time and space, ignited by the legend of Atlantis. As the conversation unfolds, a sense of urgency fills the room, prompting the youngest scholar to exclaim, "Imagine if we could use modern technology to verify these ancient tales. What if we found evidence that links today's society to the remnants of Atlantis?" His eyes shine with excitement, envisioning drones scouring the seas and satellites mapping the deserts. The older scholars exchange glances, their minds racing with the possibilities of revealing the truths hidden beneath layers of time. This renewed focus on discovery ignites a fervent spirit, propelling their discussions toward untapped potential. The story of Atlantis, whether as a tangible civilization or a metaphorical reflection, challenges us to honor the past while shaping our future. Its enduring allure reminds us to learn from history, urging us to safeguard the delicate balance between ambition and humility as we forge ahead in an ever-evolving world.